It's the radio guy, Dr. Mike Prince, and we are gathered around the throne with the guru himself, Coach Van Pettaway. Coach, how you doing this week, sir?
I'm doing great. Having a great day after coming off a uneventful Labor Day weekend, so things are looking up.
Hold on, you say uneventful, Coach?
Yeah.
Well, I'm interested. What made it so uneventful for you, Coach?
Because it seems like nothing went right. Nothing went right in terms of my predictions. But other than that, it was okay. Being able to spend time with family and friends was awesome.
Nothing went right, Coach?
No, not for my predictions. I'm struggling out the gate.
So am I hearing a week of redemption for yours truly?
Yes. No doubt.
Well, hey, Coach, it's just the beginning. We got a long season ahead of us, and I'm pretty sure we're going to have some ups and downs throughout the course of this week, especially when we get some of the results that we got. But before we get into the Southwestern Athletic Conference, which we're so enamored with, we got to touch on your guy from Colorado, man.
Right. Well, I had an opportunity to watch the game. In fact, I left early going to Nashville, so I would be in position to watch the game. And I just think that Coach Sanders and his staff are to be commended. They did an outstanding job in preparing that team to be on the road to play TCU, and they did a fantastic job. I'm proud of them, and I guess the people in the SWAC should, they know firsthand what TCU went through because they saw Hunter and Shadua do the same thing to them last year. So the SWAC people now can relax a little bit. Those jokers are gone. They're out of the SWAC, and good luck to the Pac-10 this year, and also for the Big 12 next year. But
yes, sir.
But they did an outstanding job. It was a great game.
Yeah, and if they don't win another game, Coach, they took care of the first one out the gate, and if it didn't do nothing else, it opened up some eyes, and they realized that don't count your chickens before they hatch.
Right.
And what kind of leads us, I guess, to our picks. Now, we normally, kind of reserve our schools, respectively, Alabama, A&M, and Prairie View for last. But I'm going to kind of go in reverse here, Coach, because it was a disappointing atmosphere. I won't even say atmosphere, results with this FAMU Jackson State game. I don't know about you, but I was expecting a lot more than what I saw on this past Sunday. I don't know what your grade is going to be, but I know what mine is going to be, and I just want to get your feedback on this Jackson State FAMU game.
Well, I was very disappointed in the outcome because I went into this game and I picked Jackson State to win the game, and I
based that on
yes. So I based that on their performance the previous week against South Carolina State, and I thought that they would still be hungry, but there's a good chance that they may have still been celebrating that win against South Carolina State. But you can't take anything away from FAMU now. They came out the gate, from the opening kickoff. They let you know that, hey, this is our day. This is our day.
Yes, sir.
And so my hat's off to Florida A&M. They did an outstanding job. And if we're going to start the grading system, my Jackson State team that I picked would have to get a D today, and then of course Florida A&M will get an A from me.
I'm giving Florida A&M an A+, and I'm going to give Jackson State, I'm going to say a C-. And here's why I'm saying a C-. They did win the second half, but unfortunately you have to play two halves to win the game. It was like they were sleepwalking. It raised a question to me, Was South Carolina State that bad?
Right.
Or was Jackson that good? And I'm on record for saying, because they remind me when I was wrong, I said, coming out the gate, the best case scenario was that Jackson could be 1-3, if not 0-4. And I said the best chance they had was to beat South Carolina. Now, I know 2 games does not make an entire season. However, they looked like night and day, man. It was just so disappointing. It was so disappointing. Now, it just gets a little bit more challenging as they head to the Bluff to take on Southern University.
Right.
And that's not going to be an easy order. And Southern University, you want to talk about that? They come off a defeat that people expected them to win. So it was all over the place this weekend.
Right. And then since you brought up Southern, we'll go ahead to that game now. I'm going to give Southern a D because I had picked Southern to win this game. And Alabama State will get an A because they did what they had to do. They won that game 14-10. And so, all they did was protected their home field. And the good thing about it for Southern, it's just a loss. It's not a conference loss.
Right.
But in terms of their mental makeup, how does this fit? How is this going to transition into this week as they prepare to play another game? So, I think that was very disappointing for the Jaguar Nation, because they expected to go into Montgomery and win that game.
Yes, sir. I as well expect them to go, and I'm going to give an A+ to Alabama State because even though I got them finishing second in the East, I slightly had given Southern more credit because of just who Southern was and what they had coming into the season, and just the expectations that goes with Jag Nation. And I'm going to give them a C- as well. I'm going to give them a C- as well, because for me to give them a D would not be given the necessary credit that Alabama State, in my opinion, deserved, because they played lights out on the defensive side of that ball.
Right. Yes, they did. And then if we're going to move on up to Harrison, New Jersey, where Grambling and Hampton University played on Saturday. And I think we both felt like the G-men would go in there and win that game, but unfortunately they lost. Hampton University came out on top, 35-31. And I'll give Grambling a C on this. They did score points, but they lost that football game. They like going on the road to playing these different classics and stuff, but they came up on the short end of the stick. And I know Coach is disappointed this morning, so they will have to get a C for this one.
I'm giving them a B, Coach, and I'm going to tell you why. That offense looked alive to that past weekend compared to last year altogether. And so I was like, okay, this is some upgrade. They lost the game, I know that, and ultimately we want to win, but with what I saw from the offensive side of things, I was excited about.
Okay, yeah. Well, they got something to build on because they did put points on the board.
Right.
Okay, now after that, let's move on up to Chicago, Illinois, where Mississippi Valley went up to play Central State. And unfortunately, Valley came up short on the short end of the stick, 24-21. Mississippi Valley, I'm going to have to give them a C. They did score points. They did get on the scoreboard, but I did not expect them to lose to a Division II school, Central State.
And that's why I'm giving them a C-. That's why I can't give them a D because it was a very competitive game.
Right.
A very competitive game. A couple opportunities that were missed by Valley, but because we are talking about my endearment that I have towards Valley, I'm going to give them a C-. I'm not going to give them a D, Coach.
Correct.
I'm not going to give them a D.
Right. Yep, I agree with you. Valley is, they're just now trying to pull up the bootstraps to move forward in terms of the way their athletic department has been ran over the years. So, yeah, it's going to be always hard for me to give give them a D or F, yeah, because of the effort. As long as they got
Right.
the effort, I'm in their corner. All right,
Yes,
next
sir.
up, we'll go south now. We'll go down to Hattiesburg, Mississippi, where Alcorn State went down to play Southern Mississippi. They lost that game 40-14. And I'm going to give the Braves a C. You know, they're playing a FBS school at their place. I know that the Brave Nation, they went in droves down there, but they came up short, so they get a C.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. When they played, even though I don't look at it slightly like that, but they did play slightly over their head. And so to score 14 points. And sometimes these scores, when we hear these scores, they're lopsided, but it's not as lopsided if you're paying attention to detail of how they got to where they got to.
Right. Yep, and you're absolutely correct. So that's a good score for them. Then we'll go down to Memphis, Tennessee, where the Bethune-Cookman Wildcats went into Memphis to play the University of Memphis, and they lost that game 56-14. I'm going to give the Wildcats a C, coming all the way from Daytona Beach and putting 14 points on the board. I'll have to give them a C in this one.
I gave them a C plus because dealing with all the stress that those Florida schools have to deal with, period, and then to go and put up 14 on their Group 5 opponent. And they didn't look really bad either, Coach. Coach Woody had those guys fired up and geared up. Just a couple of mishaps here and there. So I gave them a C plus.
Okay. And then we're going to stay in the state of Tennessee, and we're going to go with my Alabama A&M Bulldogs. They went up to Nashville to play Vanderbilt out of the SEC. They lost that game 47-13. I'm going to give Coach Maynard and the Bulldogs a C for this one. I was there. They scored first. They had a great opening drive. They got inside the 5, and they had a mishap, and they had to settle for the field goal. And then on their next possession, they had a punt block that gave Vanderbilt the ball on like the 5-yard line. So they bounced back and they rallied. They scored points in the second half. So that's why I'm giving them a C.
And I'm giving them a C plus just because of that, Coach. Because they were playing, even though it's Vanderbilt, it's still an SEC opponent, an FBS opponent, and they put their hard hats on and they gave it their best effort.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Yep. And then finally, back out your way in Houston, the big rival game, the Labor Day Classic, Prairie View and Texas Southern in Houston. PV came out on top 37-34. I'm going to give PV A for the win. I'm going to give Texas Southern now. I'm going to give them a B because they still played. Everybody expected the big crowd, and so and from what I was told, that they did have a nice crowd out there, Labor Day Classic. So you get an A and a B for a loss.
Well, it was. Yes, sir. It was 17,000 in attendance, which is about 77% of capacity of the stadium. So shame on the 23% that didn't make it there. Still, it was a very competitive game, and I was contemplating on, do I give Prairie View an A because they did win, but at one point they was down 17 points, and because they were down 17 points, that's why you want to give them an A. And then you go like, well, why did you get down 17 points, which you don't want to give an A? So I settled, Coach, with an A minus, okay? And believe it or not, I'm giving Texas Southern an A.
Okay.
Texas Southern had some key breaks, and if I'm going to be honest with myself, and this is going to be hard for me to say, Coach, Texas Southern should have won that game. Okay, because of 3 interceptions, and a couple of those interceptions by Mr. Body wasn't his fault. One bounced right off the guy's chest, and it just is what it is, right? But both teams were explosive on offense. Okay, if you look at it, it was like a mirror for mirror deal. The quarterback play was good on both ends. It was a tale of the interceptions that kind of made this thing go out, and that 17-point swing. And in overtime, Texas Southern kicker hit the upright, which gave PV the shot to win the game in overtime. So yeah, it was a good game.
Right. I also think that Dr. Prince, that PV is showing people that, you know, maybe your preseason predictions were off. You know, we might be better than what you all think. Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. And I said, if you don't like being picked fifth, play like it. Yeah. And I think I need to correct. I said Prairie View A-, and I meant Prairie View an A and Texas Southern an A-. That's what I meant to say. Gotcha. Okay, so but the games were great. It was an electric atmosphere. We broadcast that game live right here at the network, and we had a good number of people that listened to the broadcast and go back and listen to it at the YouTube channel, Open Mic Broadcast Network. But it was really something to behold. And I'm still trying to work on that other 23%, Coach. But we're gonna get there. I ain't gonna act ugly this week.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, that leads us up. Yeah, that was a great weekend. Another thing that I did notice, you know, last week we didn't talk about the MEAC as much, but one of the disappointing things that I saw last week, this past weekend rather. Norfolk State losing to Virginia State, another Division II school. That was I didn't expect that. I thought Norfolk would be ready to play, and so when these schools play down, they have to be careful because a lot of these Division II schools can really play.
No doubt. Look, if you win, they're like, oh well, you're supposed to. If you lose. Right. The sky's falling. So it's really something. And that you brought up the MEAC, Coach. I'm glad you did. We decided after last week's taping that we would let the MEAC, one of the MEAC games, be our tiebreaker for our picks throughout the rest of the season. And that way we still keep it with that HBCU flavor. So as we get ready to dissect these games this week, and it makes me feel good when I hear you say this, Coach. Who won last week?
Who won?
Yeah.
You did, sir. You did. You came out on top.
Yes, sir.
We were even Stevens until we went into that Jackson State FAMU game.
Sir.
Big FAMU. Yes, sir. And because now we both missed out on Valley. We both predicted Valley was going to win. But
yes. We missed out on Valley and we missed out on Grambling, too.
Yep, yes. But with all things even, you won last week. That's no doubt. Yes, sir.
Okay,
so, congratulations. And what
you ought to see me with my peacock. You ought to see with my peacock strut going on right now.
Yeah, I knew it. Hey, look, when I was watching the game Sunday, I said, uh-oh. I said, he's going to have something to brag about because that was the clincher right there. That put him in front.
Yes, sir.
Well, speaking of MEAC, we have two games to choose from as our tiebreakers. You got North Carolina Central going to North Carolina A&T, and then you got Norfolk State going to Hampton. So we can pick between those games as our tiebreaker. Norfolk and Hampton, North Central and A&T. These are both two great games.
Yes, they are, and they're rival games.
Yes, that's
Coach.
Yep, that's a good
my goodness. Let's go with the Hampton Norfolk game.
Oh, I agree. Coach Odom's okay. That's fine.
Yeah,
let's play at Hampton, and I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go out on a limb. I'm gonna say that Coach Odom's gonna have his kids ready to play.
See, you was trying that. You was looking at my cheat sheet, Coach. I like Olson, man. Dawson Odom. I like Odom, and Okay, well, I'm gonna have to pick Norfolk as well. So hopefully we're gonna have some disagreements in these swag picks. So,
okay,
Coach, you got to stop looking on my cheat notes, man.
Yep. Okay, so we both gonna pick them. All right, then let's see what the SWAC has in store for us this week. All right.
Okay.
Off the bat, we're gonna start with Savannah State visiting Bethune-Cookman. I'm going Bethune to win that game because they're playing at home.
Okay, and with what I saw from Bethune, I'm in agreement. I'm taking the Wildcats on that.
Okay. All right, next up, we got Alabama State hosting Miles College.
Alabama State, brother.
All the way, and I'm with you on that one. All right.
Yes, sir.
Alcorn State is going to continue on the road this week. Alcorn takes on, they'll be at Stephen F. Austin. I'm going to go with the home team on this one.
I'm going with Alcorn.
You going with Alcorn?
I am going with Alcorn.
Okay. And I'm going to take Stephen F. Austin, so that's a split right there. All right, then Arkansas Pine Bluff going up to Memphis to play Tennessee State. On this one, I'm going to have to stay with the home team. I believe Tennessee State is going to be able to win this football.
Well, I'm going to split hairs with you again, my friend. I'm going to pick the Golden Lions.
Okay. Okay. And then I'll take TSU. All righty. Then next up, Florida A&M goes down to South Florida.
I think they'll lose this week.
Oh, yes. Yeah, we're in agreement with that one.
Mm-hmm.
We're in agreement with that one. We're both going to take We're both going to take South Florida.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Next up, this is a big one. Jackson State, that's Southern, 6 p.m. I'm going to take Southern in this game.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, you go cheating on my papers again, Coach. You cheating on the papers again.
Definitely both in agreement with that. And then that leads us to Grambling going down to LSU. I think that's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Look,
I'll take the Tigers. Which Tigers? I'm going to take them LSU Tigers in that one, sir.
Yeah, we both will take them. Yeah. Okay, now, back up. Let's see. We would have left between my Alabama A&M Bulldogs and Lane. Lane is coming into Huntsville. I have to take my Bulldogs for this.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And you're in agreement that you're taking them also?
I am in agreement, sir.
All righty. Now, Abilene Christian is coming to Prairie View.
Yes, sir.
Coming to the other hill.
Yes.
Let's see here. PV struggles against Texas Southern. I'm gonna go with the home team. I'm gonna take PV in the upset.
Yeah, I got PV, and I'm not going to call it an upset, even though on paper it does look like an upset. They should have won that game last year, and I'm so glad to see them come back so quick, because usually they'll play a home and a home, and it'll be a year or two in between the games. But they're coming back, and I think Prairie View's going to be ready to show Abilene Christian what it's like to be on the hill, and give them some soul food and a Pepsi, and send them back with an L.
Yeah, okay, and I did miss one game. I'm sorry.
Toledo and Texas Southern.
Yes, Texas Southern goes out to Toledo, but I'm going with Toledo on this one.
Yes, sir. We're going with Toledo. I just come back healthy, guys. Make sure the check clears.
Yep. So we've got another week of SWAC football under the belt. Looking forward to this week, and probably the game of the week, in my opinion, in the SWAC is going to be Jackson State at Southern. No doubt.
Yeah. I think that's a 6 o'clock kickoff.
Yes.
And now I'll ask you this, and I've been asking people throughout the week, Coach. Who's the most pressure on this week for Jackson or Southern?
I'll be honest. I think it's on Jackson now. I think it's on Jackson. I think Southern, by by the fact that they're playing at home, I don't think the pressure is going to be there. Because to me, you relax more and you'll be ready to play because you are at home. But I think it's going to be on Jackson so that they don't come out the gate 1 and 2.
Okay. Well, you got Southern pick to win it. I got Southern pick to win it. And it's a lot of expectations on Coach Dooley. A lot. Southern is a unique place. Jackson is a unique place. FAM is a unique place. And the expectations are the type of pressure they say that will burst pipes.
Mm-hmm.
And so we'll see what'll happen at the end of this weekend. So it's going to be interesting to see. And I'm pretty sure that we'll both have the pens out ready to grade.
Yep, yes, we will. and I do agree with you. There is going to be some pressure because Coach Dooley does not want to come out the gate 0-2.
Right.
That would not sit well with the Jaguar Nation. So, I mean, he puts the pressure on himself though. But I'm looking forward to this weekend. Looking forward to it.
Yes, sir. He was on the SWAC weekly conference, and somebody asked him, what good do you see out of your defense? He said, ain't no good when you lose. So I know they're gonna be fired up and ready to go, but it should be I do expect it to be a lot more competitive than what Jackson showed at FAM. But I am dubbing this as the game of the week.
Oh yeah.
To keep our eyes on. Well, Coach, it is always good. Look, they got me thrown off with this Labor Day extended weekend, so everything I feel like I'm a day behind, but I'm always caught up when I get a chance to sit down and talk with the guru, man, and I truly appreciate you. I want to give you some closing thoughts and comments for this segment, sir.
Okay. Well, but Dr. Prince, it's been a pleasure. It's always nice to go over sports and talk with you, and I want you to encourage you to continue doing what you're doing, getting the word out, because that's sorely needed in our community. And in today's time, we really need the word to be put out correctly. And you're doing that. So keep it up the good work, my friend.
Thank you very much, sir. And look, man, I want to get you some of those baby back ribs and sit back and enjoy the rest of your day. And as my pop used to say, if the Lord say the same when the creek go rise, we'll get this thing together on next week, sir.
Yes, sir. Look forward to it. Thank you.
All right. He is the guru, Coach Van Pettaway. I am the radio guy, Dr. Mike Prince. Don't forget you can follow me on X at The Mike Prince Show and subscribe to the YouTube channel at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. And until the next time, you guys be blessed, and we'll see you on the other side.